Hi, everybody, and welcome to Teaching Tip Tuesday, brought to you by the Center for Inclusive Teaching and Learning here at UWSP. It's the beginning of the term, and instructors and students are about to be thrown into an intense semester-long relationship with a whole bunch of people that they don't know. There's an inherent awkwardness in this situation because large groups of people who don't know each other don't always want to talk. That's why most instructors employ some form of icebreaker. The standard icebreaker is to ask students what their major is, what their career goals are, and maybe something personal about themselves, like their hobbies. Although this is well intentioned and it's not at all useless, it can get really boring really quickly, especially for your students who go through this icebreaker in a lot of different courses. So this week, I'd like to share with you some ideas for icebreakers that may be more effective in helping you to achieve specific goals in your courses. Let's start with the basic goals instructors might have for using icebreakers. They can be generalized into three basic functions. First, we use them to facilitate belonging and the formation of relationships. For individuals to see themselves as part of a group with shared ideas, interests, and experiences, we need to have an initial exchange of information. Getting to know one another allows us to begin forming relationships, and these relationships are directly tied to both student success and the efficacy of a course. Second, we can use icebreakers to establish the culture of interaction we want to see in the course. We have an opportunity to demonstrate that the classroom is a place of security, where learners can express themselves without judgment, improving their openness to expression of ideas and their security in taking risks. We can model mutual respect in how we respond to learners and how they should respond to one another. These are both important to establishing a sense of inclusion and belonging. It can also be a great opportunity to establish rules for civil dialogue, especially around topics that might be emotionally charged. Finally, we can use icebreakers to tap into our learners' motivation to succeed. There are tons of online resources on different icebreakers, but I'd like to highlight a few that I like with a quick summary of how you might implement them in either face-to-face or online teaching. They are Never Have I Ever, Defining Moments, I Am Not, and Energy and Direction. Never Have I Ever is a party game that can work well as an icebreaker to help learners appreciate and respect the struggles faced by other students. It can also be used to demonstrate shared concerns and experiences. The key is in developing appropriate prompts, examples of which will be displayed on the screen as I explain the icebreaker. In face-to-face classrooms, the instructor would read a prompt. Each member of the class could then signal when the prompt does or does not apply to them by doing something like holding up a red or green card or raising a hand, something like that. If you want to get kinetic and make more of a dramatic statement, you can have students physically move around the room. Follow up your series of prompts with small group discussions of the results. You can cap the icebreaker with a discussion of how you value and respect the unique lived experiences that each learner brings to your class. In a synchronous online course, you can use gestures or Zoom polling for students to admit to a prompt. Or you may want to make this an asynchronous discussion board in which learners use likes to express whether or not the prompt applies to them. Responses to particular prompts might include sharing a student's particular story or commenting on another person's shared story. The Defining Moments icebreaker allows you to tap into the unique lived experiences of your learners, focusing them on their values and their intrinsic motivations. Give learners the basic prompt to think about 3 of the most defining moments in their lives and how they relate to the person that they are now, including reflections on their values, goals, and personality. In face-to-face classes, you may break the class into smaller groups to discuss these moments and any commonalities students may have, or you may have students write a few words about these experiences on separate pieces of paper so that you can tape them to the classroom wall or whiteboard. You can ask learners to share some of their thoughts when they introduce themselves. Your words of encouragement and recognition can facilitate an environment of acceptance and welcome. The I am not icebreaker is great for helping people to take pride in their identities while breaking down stereotypes and fostering respect and understanding. The gist is that students begin with a folded sheet of paper. On the left side, they write, I am. In the middle, they write, but. And on the right side, they write, I am not. Then they may list any aspects of their identity that they wish to share with the class on the left side. Then a stereotype of typical characteristics of the people in that identity group that don't necessarily apply to the learner in question on the right side. In an online format, you might conduct this as a discussion thread. This is an excellent way to initiate conversations about stereotypes and to plan as a class how you might overcome them. Finally, the energy and direction icebreaker is a good way to get students thinking about their goals, values, and what drives them. Begin by reminding your learners that action is all about energy and direction. Have them think for a bit, then write a few words about what energizes them to action, what they ultimately want to achieve, and how your course fits into the achievement of their goals. Discussions between peers, either face-to-face or online, may relate to how we can help one another to achieve our goals within the framework of the course. This can help to facilitate a supportive peer network that is essential to your learners' sense of belonging and success. Remember, choosing icebreakers with care will help you to set the tone for your course. And that's this week's teaching tip, brought to you by the Center for Inclusive Teaching and Learning here at UWSP, your one-stop shop for teaching support. Visit our website to schedule a consultation for help with course design, learning activities, assessment, or pedagogy.